You know what my favorite types of companies are? They're the companies that like to pretend like they're ethical and moral in the West because it suits their interests to pretend to be ethical and moral, but then literally everywhere else in the world they continue promoting and profiting off of racist ideology. And one of the worst offenders is Unilever. Now, you'd be entirely forgiven for not actually knowing the Unilever name. After all, Unilever is a big conglomerate company. It's a big company that owns a lot of smaller companies. So Unilever in of itself is not a household name, but the companies it owns definitely are. Unilever owns around 400 different brands, including Dove, the soap bar maker, Lux, again, the soap bar maker, Lipton Tea, Magnum ice cream, Hartman's ice cream, Knorr, a bunch of different brands that you and I have probably purchased in the past. And one of the 400 brands owned by Unilever just happens to be Fair and Lovely. Again, you'd be entirely forgiven for not knowing the Fair and Lovely brand if you live in the West. After all, you don't really tend to find it in the West except in some Asian supermarkets maybe. At this point, you might be wondering, what is Fair and Lovely? Fair and Lovely is a skin lightening cosmetic product that was introduced by Unilever into the Indian market in 1975. But the Fair and Lovely brand is big business. It's one of the biggest companies or the biggest brand names in India, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Brunei, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, as well as other parts of Asia. The list goes on and on. So Unilever contains a melanin suppressor, niacinamide, that acts to lighten the skin. It also contains a host of other ingredients, including mercury. So I actually gave this some thought, and I asked myself, what did I find so problematic about Unilever selling skin lightening creams? And I don't think my problem is Unilever selling a skin lightening product, because, I feel like if you're someone who wants to change the color of their skin, as in go from darker to lighter skin, then you should be free to do so. It's a free world. I'm not going to be the one to judge you for it. But my problem is the ideas, the images, the ads that Unilever uses to promote this idea that lighter skin is superior to darker skin. Let me show you an example.
4 is my lucky number. I graduated after 4 years. Just before my 4th interview, I realized that the obstacle to obtain my dream job was my skin.
Discover Fair and Lovely multivitamin with 4 essential vitamins, B3, E, A, and C, for total fairness.
Lemma reporting live from Egypt.
Great job. What are you doing at 4?
I told you 4 is my lucky number.
Fair and Lovely multivitamin for total fairness.
That sort of ad campaign would never air in the West, anywhere in the West. And I personally find it deeply troubling because I feel that what Unilever is doing here constitutes something a bit bigger than that. It also constitutes emotional blackmail. What Unilever is doing is Unilever is choosing to promote and profit off some very racist ideologies that date back to British colonialist rule in India and in other parts of the world. So I suppose Unilever is telling young girls that lighter skin is better than having darker skin. That unless they buy the Fair and Lovely cream products to lighten the color of their skin, people are just not going to give them jobs, they're not going to give them opportunities, people might not even love them as much as they would if they had lighter skin. And this kind of reminds me of the situation that Emma Watson found herself in a few years ago when she was caught red-handed promoting a skin whitening product as well. Not Unilever associated, but it was Lancome. She kind of pretended or kind of portrayed herself as this intersectional feminist who cares about all women regardless of skin color, but then goes around and promotes skin whitening products in other parts of the world, like India. And I think in the age of the internet, if you're a public figure or if you're a company, then you really can't afford to be a hypocrite because people have smartphones these days. People take pictures of anything and everything, and people post those pictures online, and other people in other parts of the world can find those pictures online. So really, there is really no benefit of being a hypocrite in 2020 because people will find out that you are a hypocrite and you don't care about race issues. You just want to make as much money as is humanly possible. So either clean up your act or act like the asshole you actually are. So Unilever found itself in hot waters recently because Johnson & Johnson, another big conglomerate company, decided to discontinue its skin lightening products. We're not going to be selling any skin whitening, skin lightening, skin bleaching products anymore. That's what Johnson & Johnson said. So I suppose I have to mention, just in the interest of fairness, I'm a really fair person. So they have decided that they will not discontinue the Fair and Lovely line. It's not in their interests, economically speaking, but that they will change the name of the brand. Dick move. If you enjoyed this video, then, please give me a thumbs up. It tells YouTube that you would recommend YouTube recommending my content to other people, so it really helps me out, especially as I'm a small channel. If you really love this content, then you can definitely subscribe to the channel, and that way you can keep tabs on all the great content I have lined up for you guys. See you next week then!